Fire, 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 fire.
Steam updates its rules to comply with payment processor censorship. Purchase multiple titles. Details below. Yeah, the frickin' meme, bro. Oh, yeah. This is the stuff. The myth of artistic freedom. I want to draw it. I want to see it. I don't! Isn't there a random payment processor you forgot to ask? Dude, MasterCard and Visa have a monopoly. I wouldn't even say it's a duopoly. It's like they're almost the same, basically. They just control everything. Yeah, they do that with Steam. Earlier this year, payment processors allegedly tried to withhold funds from Japanese developers on Steam who released adult games. Payment processor monopolistic censorship is one of the biggest unchecked cartels right now. Yeah, it's a mafia. Regulation is needed to either break up these companies or guarantee a degree of service. It's not a free market when every company operates collectively. 100% they have an unfair bias towards media that just so happens to be usually from Japan. They're actively bullying Japanese publishers and platforms. Yeah, they do this with anime too. We watched a video on this monopoly like 8 months ago, didn't we? They own like 80% of payment processing via credit card, and they tried to argue that more competition would be bad for the market. It was insane. Yeah, we talked about it on stream. It was about anime specifically. They were barring them. The amount of power of Visa and MasterCard has is literally crazy. Yeah, and PayPal. PayPal has an insane amount of incentive to just basically lock people out. Even small businesses have to use them, otherwise they can't take payments from customers. Yeah, when I find out that I can't pay someone through PayPal, it's usually such a hassle, and I have to sit here and think to myself, like, why isn't there a better response to PayPal as an alternative? PayPal changes their TOS all the fucking time too. Yeah, because they can. Like, what are you gonna do? Go somewhere else? It's like, no. Yeah. I've heard of so many artists too getting locked out of their account because PayPal can just do whatever the fuck they want, and then they just keep the money. Apparently they removed SCP containment breach from Steam. Wait, why? It's what? Bitcoin? Yeah, bro, everybody uses Bitcoin. You're right, sweetie. But basically, like, this all started because payment processing companies, the same ones that we watched like a video about, like, I think it was a year ago, maybe like 10 months ago, the ones that control like 80% of all credit card purchases combined, and then they deny that they're a monopoly. Those guys. MasterCard and Visa basically started trying to hold funds from like developers and Steam because they have problematic games on their freaking platform, chat. What defines a problematic game? Why is it okay for a Western publisher to have titties in the game, but a Japanese one can't? Isn't that a little bit weird? It's a little bit racist. A lot of these games are literally just anime games, but Steam compiled like all of them together into one conglomerate, and now and they complied, and now everyone is freaking pissed, bro. And like, again, what do we always say? Like, corpos are super evil. And their reasons for doing all this bullshit is never genuine. It's always driven by some like insanely retarded virtue signaling or harassment campaign, which we're gonna get to in a minute. I saw another post which was crazy to me, that Valve was like bucking them, and then they said no, we're gonna actually do what you want because we don't want to lose all our money. Valve responds to payment processor controversy, hopes devs have another game to put on Steam. Valve responds, blah, 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 blah. Valve has notified the affected developers and offered app credits. It is so over, man. We gotta start like writing legislature for something like this. This is insane. Response to payment processor controversy, hopes to have another game to put on Steam. Yeah, just put another game on Steam. Yeah, just quickly put another one on. So Valve like basically responded to the backlashes and said, we're sorry, we're gonna compensate the devs. Like, this completely misses the point. Like, I'm happy that the fact that devs are being compensated, but people aren't just mad because of that. That's like 10% of the reason. 90% of the reason they're upset is because of the precedent that it sets in the first place. Payment processing companies should not have leverage to censor games. It shouldn't work like that. As Baldy said, it is an unchecked cartel. And it's under the radar. It's flying under the radar. It has free reign to do whatever it wants and censor whoever it wants, or else, oopsies, you can't get paid. Oh, your livelihood's on the line. Oh, that's too bad. Where are you gonna go? What happens when you fuck with, like, what happens when you fuck with, like, generally apolitical shut-in gamers? You know, such as my smugglers, with like an insane amount of free time and nothing better to do than fuck with you. When all they wanted in the first place was to play their frickin' games, their hentai games, or their anime games, and they want to be left alone. I don't think this is gonna go the way Steam and Visa and MasterCard think it is, man. You must destroy all copies of software product and all its components. This is a screenshot capture of the EULA for Final Fantasy remake, not for Steam or any of Valve's games. Oh, Square Enix is cringe too, but that's besides the point. Alana wants furry girl style on Steam. It's not even about that. No, like, I know you're joking, but to put it in perspective, what if one day Dead by Daylight or any other violent game is considered too violent or grotesque by MasterCard or Visa or PayPal, and then they say, oh, well, you know, it's bad for kids because it explicitly shows them getting stabbed and stuff. We don't want that kind of game on our, you know, on our video game lineup on Steam, and then they ban that, and then you can't play. It could be anything. Yeah, GTA, it could be anything. Or The Witcher 3 or Baldur's Gate for having sex scenes. Yes, exactly. Or Stellar Blade for being sexy. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with Stellar Blade. But isn't it because it's against their TOS? Yeah, because they can change the TOS for whatever they want. Because where are you gonna go? Epic Game Store? Don't make me laugh. The Steam subreddit is calling out a collective shout for celebrating getting adult games removed from Steam. Point out that's the same group who tried to remove Detroit Become Human from Steam and could lead down to a slippery slope. Today it's adult games, tomorrow it's COD. That's what I'm saying. It could result in like other fucking issues. Because who dictates what is and isn't acceptable? Again, there were people crying that shooter games back in the 90s were causing people to become you know, I can't say the word on YouTube, but you get what I'm saying. Like, people who shoot people, right? The Karens could cry, and then MasterCard's like, oh, yeah, shit, well, you know, Dead by Daylight, COD, any other, like, violent game with, like, violent scenes could be deemed problematic. Why on earth would you want to get rid of Detroit Become Human? Yeah, I don't get it either. It's just, I never saw anything bad of it. Major win. New policy on Steam regarding... I can't say these words because YouTube is awesome. Since we last your campaign calling on payment processors to stop facilitating payments for grape, incense, and blah 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 blah. Why did you? Anyway, the new rule states content that may violate the rules and standards set forth by Steam's payment processors and related cards and network bands or internet network providers. This is scary too. Internet network providers, your ISP gets to determine whether or not you can goon to like to your hentai games. Like, what? We can't always serve games tagged with blah, 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 blah. In our last count, there are 82. We want all of them gone. This is what I'm saying. They're Chad, they're literally Karens. These are Karens. We can't always serve but typically misogynist gamers have come out in full force. Encouraging us to kill ourselves. The irony isn't lost on us. This is a major win for women and girls. Shut up! I hate you. I hate you for saying this is a major win for women and girls. I'm a woman and a girl. You can't say that for me. You do not speak on my behalf. You are dumb and stupid. They're Australian Karens. Is that it? Collective shout is Australian? That would make a lot of sense. Did you know in Australia, they didn't let Left 4 Dead be released because they said it was too violent? That's crazy. This is the same group who tried to have Detroit become a human ban for depicting blah 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 violence against women. Also, what is with the censorship here? Does putting an asterisk in the word "grape" absolutely change its meaning and make it a safer word? People get triggered, I guess. Yeah. Killing zombies is violent now. Oh, don't get me started on the Left 4 Dead 2 thing. But again, what does Baldy McBalderson always say, chat? Karens and incels cause all of the world's problems, chat. In this case, it's radical feminists attacking video games because they're childless, like freaking insufferable cat ladies that believe in this stupid, freaking stinky-ass gender pay gap and think all men are trash and have like tons of either batshit insane victim complex beliefs, dude, or oh, if Detroit become human, it has really uncomfortable things that like talk about in game. You can't have that. Look, it's what? Removed from store. Interactive food. Oh my fucking god! I can't believe this is real. Yeah, dude. They got Journal Nuke that reported how they falsely targeted Detroit and GTA. Dude, it's crazy, man. Owner Savage Ventures has requested the removal of my collective shout articles. This is due to concern about controversial matter. What? No way! Even Anna Valens got freaked like that? That's kind of strong. But, like... They all think all men are trash, and, like, they capitulate to this, like, crowd. Like, this has never happened in history of the world, ever, and it's never ended well. You give them an inch, and they take a mile, chat. These assheads also tried to remove Detroit Become Human. I'm all for anything glorifying, depicted a female presenting robot being attacked by their owner. It was an important part of the story that really sold the world. It in no way glorified or promoted domestic abuse against women. Today it's adult games, tomorrow it's COD or CS for glorifying war, then it's followed for depicting poverty. Then, I don't know, maybe Animal Crossing is too much for them because taxes are stressful. Exactly, they're moving the goalposts. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile. I am so sick of these incredibly small yet loud minorities of people that get amplified by social media to the point that anyone takes them seriously. And then they capitulate to them. I am so tired of these... of a handful of unmedicated, terminally online retards having any sort of sway over companies and video games and movies or anything else that I enjoy that's entertainment related. This needs to stop. It's actually fucking ridiculous. Twitter, Reddit in a nutshell. But the thing is that they have this power. I mean, look at them. They actually got what they wanted. It's scary. Don't some states in America ban porn sites? Yeah, and I think that's dumb. Who are these people? Evidently, they have so much pull that they can influence payment processors to ban many games on Steam from any other media on Pixiv. Pixiv is a art website for that mostly is used by Japanese people. They have been spearheading a censorship campaign that's being implemented by Visa and MasterCard, PayPal, etc. Chad, I've never heard of these guys before. What? A grassroots campaign. I hate that word, grassroots. Campaign and movement against the objectification of women and sexualization of girls in media and advertising and pop culture. Chat, 10K followers. These are literal freaking who's. How the fuck does this happen? Why are we letting this mentally ill group of Karens dictate what video games are on Steam and what's allowed? This is why everyone is pissed. This is why there's backlash. Why did they stop at women though? Oh, because like women matter. Women matter more than men. Men are allowed to be objectified. It's so bad. Because every time, chat, it is never a level-headed group of normal people advocating for these changes. Remember that. It's every time it's a handful of retarded hypocrites with no morals that are just virtue signaling for the sake of virtue signaling. And again, someone pointed out they were from Australia too, which is even funnier. It's the ideologically captured morons that think their opinions actually matter online. This cannot become the standard of how we do business. People are not gonna stand for game censorship at the hands of people like this. Like, I just hate it so much. Let's go, like, read their actual letter. The post that they made on their website that started this, apparently. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I found it. Oh, and then they list all the people. The game was geo-blocked in Australia following collective shouts complaint to the Australian Classification Board following our global viral campaign, including a change.org signed by over 70,000 concerned individuals. Yeah, 70,000 is a lot. Whoa, bro. By the way, we have 1.4 million for stop killing games, but 70,000 is a lot. Yeah, sure. The game was taken down in Canada and the UK and pulled from the Steam by the developer. However, since discovered hundreds of other games, our research has shown many of these games would breach Australian classification laws. Most of the content found within the games include graphics, and the developers' descriptions are too distressing for us to make public. These games endorse and ban sexualized abuse and torture of women and girls, fly in the faces of efforts to address violence against women. I wonder if there's games up of men getting abused. Are those still up, I wonder? Do you think those ones are still up? Yeah, like every game? I think so, probably. We do not say facilitating payment transactions and deriving financial benefit from these violent and unethical games is consistent with your corporate values and mission statements. Blah, 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 blah. We request you take corporate social responsibility and immediately cease processing payments on Steam and itch.io and any other platforms hosting similar games. Blah, 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 blah. We await your response. Yeah, literally an SCP game? Guess what I don't understand? What did the SCP game do? It's so disingenuous, chat. Anyone with a functioning brain can pick this apart. It's the same tired playbook every single time. They're trying to conflate a game that actually had problematic themes. Like, go look up No Mercy yourself. I'm not gonna talk about it here. With any game that has a girl in a bikini in it. The reason that shit like this is so bad, because again, nobody in this scenario cares about honesty. No one cares about truth. They don't care about being fair or reasonable. They have an agenda. I don't think a lot of people would have defended games like No Mercy if it wasn't obvious that the next game is to come after games that aren't even remotely similar. Because these people aren't honest, and everyone knows that. What ends up happening here is you let a problematic game get removed, and then the next step is Stellar Blade, and then the next step is Nier Automata. Then it's gacha games, Nikke, Honkai Star Rail, and Genshin Impact. Then it's any anime game. Then it's any game with women in bikinis. Then it's any game with attractive women. They literally, their mission is sexualization of girls in media, advertising, and pop culture. Mark my freaking words. They don't stop until they purge every single thing that they can get mad about. It's like handing the keys to like the gamer world to a Reddit mod. I'm not gonna hold you. It'll happen. Don't touch my Uma. It's coming, man. They're Karens. They're gonna get you. And by the way, this is just like another thought I just had. I think the more that you see these monopolistic payment processing cartels start to run things, the more you're gonna see crypto get popular. Like, again, I'm not a crypto. I don't own any crypto. I'm too stupid. I'm just an anime girl. But I can see a world where this garbage starts to get so out of hand that we start paying shit with freaking like Bitcoin and shit, and they start looking for alternate forms of payment. I can see it happening. They blocked and called Madam Savvy a man and a sex trader for speaking against this group, by the way. What? What? Has labeled me a man because they couldn't imagine women actually defying them. What? Pro-censorship piggy. Oh my god, they called her a sex trader? What? You must be a man because you're against us. Oh my god. They really think all women think the same? I just know what's coming. I know what's gonna happen later on. You start censoring people, you start censoring and drawing the line in the sand. What's gonna stop them from going from sexualization of girls and objectification of women to like extrapolating to cute anime girls in dresses being adorable? None of these Karens have been touched in decades. I'm telling you, man, it'll happen. I don't want it to happen. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe gamers will rise up. Gamers rise up! I wonder if all these women are hags. I have to wonder. Oh, I really hope this doesn't end badly, but we'll see.
Fire, 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 fire.